Hello, I'd like to thank God for waking me up this morning and thank you for watching. We are Walking with Jesus Ministries International, and I'm Paul Walker. Let's start off with a quick Isaiah. Isaiah 123 states, "Your princes are rebellious and your companions of thieves. Everyone loves bribes and runs after gifts. They do not bring justice to the fatherless, and the widow's cause does not come to them." Basically, that's talking about how basically it's talking about our government, especially with this new deal that's coming with the continuing resolution. Obviously, with Joe Biden's pardons, the largest amount of pardons and clemencies ever given. Let's go into a quick thing on that here.
Being tough on crime. I tell you who's not being tough on crime right now, and that's US President Joe Biden. He's really going for it in his last few days in office. During the 4 years that he's been the president, and mind you, he's got 4 weeks to go, he's pardoned or commuted the sentences of more than 8,000 people, including, of course, his son Hunter. Now, the only other presidents who come close to pardoning or commuting that many people, if you ignore Jimmy Carter pardoning Vietnam War draft evaders, is Lyndon B. Johnson and Barack Obama, who issued around 2,000 pardons each. Trump, by comparison, pardoned only 237 people in his.
Wow. So, Obama pardoned 10 times as many people as Trump, and Biden pardoned 4 times as many people as Obama. That is absolutely ridiculous. And these aren't pardons going to people who, were prosecuted by bad law or something like that. These are like evil people. That's a whole other video. But yeah, crazy.
First term, but Joe Biden, 8,000 people, including a Chinese national who was caught with something like 40,000 child porn images. And then
child porn images, imagine that. Where do you think those 300,000? Yeah, 300,000 children that came over the border that disappeared? Where do you think they are now? They're probably in that guy's basement. These people are sick and evil.
He's commuted the sentences of a whole lot of business bosses who ripped off $5 billion from about 1 million victims. What on earth is Joe Biden playing at?
That is because Joe Biden is getting paid by these people. That's the only reason this is happening. Like the Clintons started off with the whole, pay to get pardoned kind of thing, and they sold out the government pretty badly, but the Bidens make the Clintons look like amateurs. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I looked it up, and since the turn of the century, 1900, till now, there have been something like 22,000 acts of clemency. So this is about 35% of that. 35% of what's happened in the last century and a half has come now. And it really is interesting because it stinks to high heaven. The power, presidential power, is unilateral. Whether we like it or not, it is unilaterally his prerogative to do. But it stinks to high heaven in terms of that scale, because what does it mean if you take it to its logical endpoint? It either means that there's all these people, 8,000 people, who were over-sentenced or over-prosecuted, and so what's wrong with the criminal justice system if that's true?
Right.
Or there are all these people who actually have committed crime, and he's paving the way by...
probably a whole lot of his donors. This is so insane. And listen, he's I don't even want to say he's a good father. A good father would pardon his son no matter what, because that's what a good father does. A good father would have never put his son in that position in the first place. And a good president would never, we all knew he was going to pardon his son. A good president would never have lied about that. He's like, yes, I'm going to pardon my son. He's my son. Like, tell the truth. We all knew you were lying the whole entire time.
Doing these early ones now. He still has 35 days to go. Who's coming? Is it Fauci? Is it his brother? Is it himself? That's going to be the big one. If that happens, big news that day.
And he pardoned Hunter for crimes that Hunter didn't even commit yet or didn't get prosecuted for, or there's not even an investigation on. That can't be legal. I'll pardon you for anything you might have done or you will do. And they're talking about giving pardons to Liz Cheney and a few other people on the J6 committee. Why are they getting pardons? They're not investigated for anything. Oh, yeah, because they're criminal. Because what they actually did hasn't been investigated because Biden's Department of Justice was so corrupt. Let's get to a couple of other things.
Many Republican lawmakers are slamming what they're calling Christmas tree ornaments in the bill, including duty-free Haitian apparel imports and lithium-ion battery legislation. It also moves the jurisdiction of...
That legislation makes it illegal for us to mine the lithium, forcing us to buy it from China.
RFK Stadium back to Washington, D.C.
So they're paying a whole crap load of our tax dollars to put RFK Stadium into the jurisdiction of D.C., upgrading it or whatever. So why am I paying for that? I'm in Jersey. That's just absolutely ridiculous.
Adds $50 million in inauguration expenses, allows E15 ethanol to be sold year-round, and includes 500 pages of health provisions. Joining me now.
I'm going to get into the health provisions in a moment, but it talks about the Congress people do not have to join the Obamacare terrible thing. Let me tell you a little story about that. I was a nurse. I got a bachelor's in nursing as well as a couple others, and I was paying. Well, I got in an accident. I was on disability for a little bit because of a broken leg, both broken legs, and I was paying about $200 something a month for top tier insurance coverage. Obamacare comes in. My doctors don't support that anymore, and my costs go up to well over $800 a month. That's 400 times or 400% increase on what I was paying previously. On the cheaper keep your doctor insurance, give me a break, man. Anything the government gets involved in, it screws up because it's not run like a business, which is why I'm so thankful that Trump is in there, that God has given us a reprieve and put Trump in there, because it's going to be run like a business now, and it's going to be friggin' awesome.
Now is Georgia Congressman Andrew Clyde, a member of the House Appropriations Committee. Congressman, good to see you. What strikes you about this bill?
Good morning, Maria. Well, I'll tell you, the most egregious thing about this bill is you've got at least $110 billion, perhaps up to $125 billion, that is not paid for, that is unpaid for. That's more borrowing to our national debt. And that's just not what the country told the president and told Congress when they gave the president a mandate.
More than 60 members of Congress attended, including 3 Democrats. Senate Doge Caucus co-founder James Lankford also introduced 2 bills to cut government waste, one addressing unemployment fraud, the other extending the statute of limitations to prosecute COVID-19 recovery fund fraud. Congressman, I know you've got a bill which would allow the president to cut any amount of funding from any program without congressional approval. Right now, the federal government has to spend the full amount of money allocated by Congress every year. Tell us more about this and how you think this actually could be positive in terms of cutting waste.
Well, the power of impoundment has been a presidential authority literally for the first 2 centuries, 200 years of our country. And then in 1974, Congress passed the Impoundment Control Act, which seriously limited the president's ability to cut spending. Or, I mean, think of it like this, Maria. If Congress appropriates $10 million for a specific program, and then the president can accomplish that program with $7 million and save $3 million of it, save 30%, shouldn't he have the authority to do that? Well, actually,
he did. And who would think that the government would actually save any money? I'm going to look this up right now with you guys. So, New York spent a ridiculous amount of money. Let's see if we talked about it in here. No. We're going to have to watch the video.
Well, many people thought the skating rink in Central Park was abandoned, but now there is something to cheer about. The Wallman Skating Rink in Central Park is open again. The city spent nearly 6 years and $12 million trying to fix it.
6 years and $12 million trying to fix it. That's what government does. This is what Trump does here.
And then to the rescue, developer Donald Trump. As Tracy Egan tells us now, he accomplished in 3.5 months what the city couldn't do in 6 years.
Mayor Koch and Donald Trump shook hands and came out complimenting each other for reopening Wallman Rink.
Donald, you performed a great public service.
No roadblocks were put up. In fact, it was the exact opposite. We've gotten our permits, our approvals. We've gotten everything as quickly as it could be gotten.
Everything included the city's permission to step in and finish the project, originally scheduled for completion in 1982, but repeatedly delayed.
We executed quickly. We came in 3 months ahead of schedule, and we saved this entire season, which really we're very happy about. And we also came in $750,000 under budget.
Yeah, that he came in way, way, way under budget and did in 3.5 months what the city of New York couldn't do in 6 years.
From the president-elect read like this on Truth Social. Sounds like the ridiculous and extraordinarily expensive Continuing Resolution Plus is dying fast. And one of the things that made it so expensive, raises for members of Congress.
Let me know if you think your member of Congress deserves a raise. Put that in the comments.
Members are giving themselves a pay raise. Do you guys deserve a pay raise?
Well, that's news to me.
Because you don't read the bill. It's a 1,500-page bill. And you're given like 3 hours to read it, and then you have to vote on it. Give me a break, man. This is so criminal. Elon Musk and Ramaswamy are just going to absolutely destroy this stuff, and I'm very, very excited for it. I haven't seen them talk about it here. Maybe to see their notes. Here we go. Here's a couple things that they're talking about.
It's a 1,500-page pork fest is what the Doge leaders are calling it. 72 pages of it for pandemic preparedness and response. Do we really need that right now? Do we have?
So they're trying to put more money in so they can try to steal another election and shut us all down again. That's BS.
To have that renewal of the much criticized Global Engagement Center. That's criticized. Is that important? Do we need to fund that right now? We need a football stadium in D.C.
It's been subsidized,
Yeah, a new bridge in Baltimore, a pay increase for Congress. And here's the thing, the Speaker's vote is on January 3rd with 434 members to start the new Congress. Johnson's going to need 218 of those votes. Right. The spending package was too unpopular because of its size, and then you had the grassroots effort by...
And they also, in this bill, this behemoth of a bill, okay, so we talked about the Congress not having to do Obamacare. They get the Cadillac insurance that nobody else can get that we pay for. And unfortunately, one of the most important things that they're getting is the J6 committee cannot be prosecuted for all the laws that they broke.
The House GOP head of the committee looking into January 6th says Liz Cheney should be investigated for witness tampering. That's what he came out with yesterday. They've been doing an investigation, but there's a lot more to it. Barry, welcome to the program.
Yeah, so Liz Cheney influenced that idiot woman to come in front of Congress and say that Trump lounged from the back of the... Well, first she said it was in the limo, which Trump wasn't even in. Or she said it was the Beast, but it was a totally different truck that Trump was in on J6. And apparently she's saying that he lunged forward through the glass and started grabbing the wheel, like he has a 5-foot-long arm, grabbing the wheel from the Secret Service and trying to beat them up or something like that. And just, this woman made a complete ass of herself, but I'm sure Liz Cheney paid her a whole lot of money because she doesn't like Trump. So she totally influenced this woman, and Liz Cheney should be investigated and put in jail for that. I mean, all of these people should be tried for treason, seriously, because they tried overthrowing, they stole the government from Trump when he won last time. with the 22 million people who all of a sudden didn't vote this time. And they should really go to jail they should really be prosecuted for treason and whatever the penalty is for that, deal with that. I'm actually kind of glad it happened and God set it up that way, because I don't think we would be nearly as strong as we are this time. So it's a good thing, but still, it's the fact that anybody could take over the United States that easily is very, very scary. Got another moment in this video right here.
Bomber is within a data.
They're talking about the pipe bomber. Somebody just somehow they walked past the cops and the bomb sniffing dogs and laid pipe bombs at the DNC and RNC with one of those kitchen timers that only goes to an hour. And they said it was set to blow up like 12 hours after they put it there. The whole thing was a BS scam. That was in place in case the J6 insurrection, the unarmed insurrection, didn't take hold. This is absolutely insane what these evil people did.
And then, as we released in this report, they lied about the evidence that they had or supposedly had regarding the pipe bomber. They told
he's talking about the FBI.
Us that, well, the identity of the pipe bomber is within data that we received from a major cell phone carrier that was corrupt, and then we couldn't get it because
was that not true?
That turned out to be a lie. No, it is not.
Oh
true.
my gosh!
Oh, and the video they have, there's like a frame per second and FPS rate in all video cameras, and if you saw the video of the pipe bomber, it was like, I think, 1 frame, 12 frames. I don't know. It was less than is even available from the 80s in a frame per second rate. It was like less than 1 frame per second. So the guy's walking, or less than 12 or something. So the guy's walking, and you see him, and he's like stuttering across the thing, but you can't see his face, and you can't see anything else because the video quality wasn't that good. That's because they edited it and changed the video quality so nobody could see it. They know exactly who it is. They set this whole thing up. Tell me in the comments if you think they set this up, and if you think that the government that is leaving soon, if they are really as evil as I think they are. And the people that should be arrested are all somehow retiring now at the end of their term, so they don't think they're going to be prosecuted. They need to be prosecuted. People need to be made an example of, that you cannot do this to the U.S. government. Trump isn't going to do that, but he has people, very strong-willed people with a backbone, which is hard to find in government, but I believe that they're going to do that.
We've been investigating that. Obviously, it's kind of easy to find who the perpetrators are now because they all retired recently. Once we started this investigation, you've seen a lot of retirement. This was the field office director here in Washington, D.C., told the Select Committee on January 6th, well, we were investigating and we subpoenaed all the major carriers, but one carrier, the data they provided us was corrupted, and that's the data that the...
Well, that's it for today. I want to thank you for joining me. I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'm very excited. I have my nephew, Fran, from Peru coming, and that's going to be amazing. So we are setting up another room up here and have some surprises for him. So I don't know if he's watching this video, but hey, Fran, ¿cómo está? And let's see what else. I am actually in the process of trying to run the other company with solar, and I'm trying to find a new place because we're moving. And we have our nephew coming, and we have a whole lot of things going on. I'm glad I got to get this video out to you guys. Thank you for watching it. Again, our website, Walking with Jesus Ministries International. If you could help support us, because free work doesn't pay a whole lot, and I am stretched super thin. Just if you could hit the donate button, and anything you could give, buy me a cup of coffee if you could. anything to help this ministry keep afloat and keep going would be fantastic. And I'm doing 2 videos a week now, and eventually what I would love to be able to do is do one a day. If you'd like to see one a day, let me know. That'd be fantastic. If you have anything you'd like me to cover, definitely let me know that. I'm still trying to get some people to do a kind of a Bible study, Bible discussion with me. And still trying to set up the charity for solar people who can almost afford to go solar but can't. Help some homeowners with their electric prices. Well, God bless, and I will see you on Friday. Thank you very much.